Hi, how's it going? This is President of Hollywood for YouTube. I'm here to give my review of The Pit and the Pendulum, the 1961 movie directed by the late, great Roger Corman, starring Vincent Price, Barbara Steele, John Kerr, Lana Anders, Anthony Carbone, Patrick Westwood. Now, I am going to get into the plot of this movie. I'm going to get into some Dark Shadow stuff here, too. The only thing I have pulled up is the IMDb page, so I can remember how to say the actors and the characters' names. I rewatched the movie yesterday. I had not seen The Pit and the Pendulum in a long time. Um, long time. I'm old. What can I say? Here's the thing. I will admit to this. I am not the best reader of names. I am not the best reader either. So just forewarning you. Just put that out there. Um, a lot of people can attest to this. Yeah, Vincent Price plays Nicholas Medina, who is a very wealthy man. His father killed his mother because she was an adulterer. Uh, yeah, I'm not joking. That's the plot of the movie. Also, Barbara Steele's now Nicholas Medina is not an adulterer. Barbara Steele's character Elizabeth Barnard Medina. Um, Spoiler alert, she is, but you learn before you find all that out. You find out her character died because her brother, who's played by John Kerr, Francis Barnard. That's how it's spelled. I'm just pronouncing it that way. Shows up at the castle 3 months later, and he even says, he's like, well, "What do you mean it's been 3 months? It's been 3 months." he's not he's not happy. Now I will say, did Dark Shadows take from The Pit and the Pendulum at all? A bit, yes. Uh, More notably, they took from the pendulum swinging when they had Quentin tied up and he was like laying, and they had the pendulum like swinging back and forth. Um, Also, there was a storyline in 1841 where Kendrick Young, who was played by the late great John Carlin, was looking for his sister. Now, are there differences? Yes. More specifically, more specifically, I want to talk about those differences because we know, everybody knows what the difference with Quentin is. You at least you should know if you're a Dark Shadows. I will come back to that there just in case people don't, because there's a lot to get to here. With Kendrick Young isn't coming to Collinwood knowing that his sister is already dead. John Kerr's Francis Bernard, he's coming there knowing his sister had died. Okay, he's coming there knowing she's gone, and he's got a lot of contempt for Vincent Price's Nicholas Medina. Now, Kendrick Young has contempt for not. I don't want to say the Collins is more that he feels that they're keeping something from him, and I would love to say that's Francis Bernard's character. It becomes Francis Bernard. Francis Bernard finds out the truth later on. He comes to the real when he comes to the realization when he's laying on that table and the pendulum is swinging down at him, um, really fast. He gets saved. He gets saved. First of all, The Pit and the Pendulum is a fun movie. I will get back to it here. So I want to talk some Dark Shadows. So Kendrick Young, he's coming to find out where his sister is. No one's heard from her. And they say, all the Collins family members, more specifically Julia and Elizabeth, tell him, "Oh, she left, she's dead." He eventually does find out his sister did die. Now, with this movie, and I know, if you've never watched this movie, you might want to turn this. If you have, great. You know that John Kerr's Francis, John Kerr's Francis Bernard is coming there unknowingly to him under false pretense. He's been told his sister's dead because the doctor in this movie, Dr. Charles Leon, played by Anthony Carbone, said that Barbara Steele's character, Elizabeth Barnard Medina, again, Barnard being her maiden name, so I'm saying it how it's said in the cast here, was presumed dead by the doctor. Vincent Price and John Kerr really play off each other really, really well. Vincent Price, he's known for playing, these antagonistic characters, but here you feel so, so sorry for him. But I think, too, what's so great is because it's Vincent Price, because you're so used to seeing Vincent Price play antagonistic characters, you're sort of wary of it. But you're not sure what to make of anything. And that's what makes The Pit and the Pendulum so good. I gotta believe that, and I don't know this for sure, that that the director Roger Corman, had cast Vincent Price on purpose, not just because he's a great actor, but because Vincent Price knew how to be an antagonist, and he wanted that sort of false pretense. Now, I don't know that. That's just my opinion. I could be very, very wrong. And if I am, then please correct me. Pretty please. And I really love Vincent Price's Nicholas Medina in this. Is Francis Barnard overbearing? No. The difference between, I would say, him and another difference between him and Kendrick Young is that Francis Barnard is staying at this castle, at Medina's castle, because he's a guest. I mean, he's not being shown the door. Vincent Price's Nicholas Medina is very welcoming to him. He's showing him around. He's trying to show him, hey, I got nothing to hide here. He does everything to cooperate with Barnard's character. He's the exact opposite of what the Collins are, or at least most of the Collinses are, to Kendrick Young. Kendrick Young is basically being told he's told to get out, he's told to leave them alone. He keeps hounding them, he keeps showing up. Now, again, I talked about Barbara Steele's character. Barbara Steele somewhat steals this movie by her character has faked her death because the doctor and her are having an affair. So a sort of history repeats itself in the castle. Vincent Price was always afraid of, or Vincent Price's character, I should say, Nicholas Medina, was always afraid of becoming his father. He did not want to become his father. He did not want to. So when his wife is pronounced dead, and Anthony Carbone's Dr. Charles Leon, Leon, I'm going to make sure I get that right. I'm probably butchering that, but I'm so sorry. When he pronounces her dead, he says, "Are you?" He keeps looking at Charles like, "Are you sure?" And Charles like, "I swear on my medical profession, I swear she's dead. She was dead." So they keep weird things keep happening around the castle. Elizabeth's ring keeps getting found. Her room gets tore up. It just, and right away John Kerr's Francis Bernard suspects Vincent Price's Nicholas Medina. He's very, again, like I said, Francis Barnard has a lot of contempt for Medina. But where he does have some feeling is for Leanna Anders, Catherine Medina, Nicholas's sister. But even Catherine's trying to convince Francis, my brother's got nothing to hide. He's done nothing wrong. He loved your sister, and that's true. I think that's one of the best things about the Pit and the Pendulum when you're comparing it to what's going to come later, way, way, way later, to Tail End of Dark Shadows. That we don't have an adultery situation with like Kendrick Young's sister. No. um, we have an adultery situation with Bramwell, Catherine. Uh, that's 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 a tad different. Um, actually, no, Catherine wasn't married. I'm going to hell for that. Oh my god. Oh my god. Catherine wasn't married to Morgan when they got it on. When her and Bramwell got it on. Oh my god. Hold on, I need to breathe. I'm so sorry. I don't know why that's funny. Um. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. But Nicholas Medina, he's not aware that his wife faked her death. He really isn't. I think Vincent Price and again Francis Barnard do a really great job in this movie of fencing with one another, because what Vincent Price doesn't do is really fence back. He plays the victim also well, because he absolutely is the victim of this story. um Elizabeth Barnard Medina fakes her death and has this salacious affair with Dr. Charles Leone, and now they're going to kill Nick. They're going to drive, they're driving Nicholas to insanity, to die and stuff. They've tied up Francis Barnard to the pendulum to kill him, and they're gonna frame that on Nicholas and stuff. They're um, it's so sinister. It really really is. And the perform is there a telltale of her faking her death? Yeah, they say she's been dead 3 months, and they open up her coffin, but it looks like she's been dead way way longer than 3 months. What she's been, because she's been in a coffin behind a sealed coffin behind a brick wall. And one thing that goes on really well is the flashback to Vincent Price's father, who he looks exactly like, because it's Vincent Price playing his own father. Um, and his father, tortured his wife to death because she was an adulterer and all that. And what a man! This movie is a straight 10. I love how the castle looks. I love more so how the actors play off each other so well. John Kerr and Vincent Price I've talked about, but Leona Anders really does a good job of sort of playing this woman who's like trying to defend her brother, who knows her brother is not their father. Um, Obviously, she likes Francis Bernard, but she doesn't like how Francis Bernard is treating Nicholas Medina, and which is her brother, and Nicholas, she cares very much for Nicholas, and she knows how much Nicholas did really love Elizabeth. Even Dr. Charles Leone says, yeah, Nicholas loved Elizabeth, and Anthony Carbone is to be commended for being one of the best sneaky heels. He's one of those heels that is going behind his friend's back, that is doing everything to publicly help his friend, but privately, he's helped driving him absolutely insane. He's helping his wife. He's helping Nicholas's wife. Should say, maybe better specify. Um, But public, he's like, oh, Nicholas, no. He's even, and this is where Charles could have got away with it. Charles could have just said, well, I told Nicholas to leave that castle several times. It makes you think, once this movie's over, Leone publicly was probably telling people how insane Dr. Charles Leone was probably telling people publicly in the village how insane Nicholas Medina is becoming. And that Nicholas Medina is slowly becoming his father. And now, you could say, how many people really know about Elizabeth's death? I bet the only people who actually knew about Elizabeth's death are the people in that castle and and Francis. And the people in that castle include Dr. Charles Leone. He comes to that castle as a visitor himself, and he keeps finding reasons to stay there. Francis Barnard isn't going anywhere till he knows what happened to his sisters, why she died, and he still doesn't leave, even though Nicholas Medina tries to explain it to him. Again, Nicholas Medina doesn't actually try to hide anything. Nicholas Medina himself thinks he's losing his mind. And that's exactly what Anthony Carbone and Dr. Charles Leone wants, and Elizabeth Bernard Medina wants. They want him to lose his mind. They want him to appear to be this crazy nut job who they can go, oh yeah, he tried to kill Lee, So I do think they would have got rid of Leanna Anders. I think that but I'll tell you, the only complaint I have in this movie, because it seems like because Patrick Westwood's Maximilian, he's the servant, he of Nicholas Medina and Catherine Medina, of the Medina family, basically. It seemed like he had a bigger part to play in this movie, and when you do see him, I mean, you see him answer the door, you see him help Leanna Anders' character out at the end. But I wonder if, like, there's a cut of the Pit of the Pendulum where maybe privately he's talking. I'm not saying there is. I'm asking out there if anybody knows. Because it seemed like he had a bigger part to play in this. Like, because by the end, he's helping Leanna Anders. Like, and it does seem like there's a moment where he's standing there and he's wondering himself what's going on. He doesn't say it out loud, but you can sort of read his face like, what's really going on here? Maybe he suspects something. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm reading it wrong. I could be wrong. But yeah, this movie is a straight 10. I have no real issue with it. I'm going to talk about a Halloween movie I like, but I don't love. You're going to talk Halloween H2O. I mean, it is almost summer, right? Right? All right. Yeah, go check out The Pit and the Pendulum. Link to the movie will be in the description box. It is a fun movie to go watch. It's on Tubi. Great movie. Guys, really fun movie. Again, Vincent Price, amazing as always. Barbara Steele. Hey, I remembered Vincent Price. And I talked about Salacious Effects. My God. I'm so sorry. I don't know why that's just... I don't know why. I have no clue. Go check out The Pit and the Pendulum. Great movie by the late Roger Corman. You guys have a good night.